Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirsho here, and now, before we do begin, a lot of things have happened. Deku, Kara, and her counterpart, along with Connor and Voss, they were all exposed to red kryptonite, a specialized version of it from a combination of Earth 1 and Earth 2 kryptonite. The Anti-Monitor, he made this to be very special. He wants the Kryptonians to gather more power. He wants them to be, well, in the best way of saying it, the primary focus of the heroes. If the Kryptonians gather more power, they will be a problem. If they act out, if they rage, things can go bad. And, well, a lot of bad things have happened already. And Deku, he sat there back at home after being exposed. A few things happened. Endgame was enacted. That's bad. He became the god of war. That's interesting. And number 3, one thing that Deku, he's having trouble believing actually happened. He slept with 7 other women. With his wife. And, well, that would make 8. So, only 2 of those women were technically his wife. And that is a problem. Deku, he's not too sure what to do. When he came back to reality, things didn't feel right. I mean, Earth 1 and 2 are now combined, and the Monitor was destroyed. His physical body was destroyed, but his essence powered the machines, drawing worlds into one. Into the Pocket Universe, I believe? Now, right now, Deku, he tried to get back in action, and a lot of people were confused by his particular outfit change as of late. And Deku, yeah, he tried to skip over a lot of stuff with a lot of people, expressing about how they'll deal with it later. And Alexander Luthor, yeah, he tried to at least express about a few things that happened. He heard Batman talk about the kryptonite, and he actually did try to bring it up. The Anti-Monitor wanted Deku to gain power. The Anti-Monitor, he wanted Deku to help power his machines, the ones helping the universe be destroyed, destroying the multiverse. Right now, what they're doing is saving 5 other worlds, or 3 other worlds technically. Of the 5 universes that do remain, things need to happen. And, well, the closer and closer their magnetic poles are, the closer their vibrations get, the more tricky it will be for that world. Things will be crammed on top of each other, and that's putting it lightly. They don't know about people, places, or locations, histories, or anything. If all of a sudden everything is thrown out of whack in all these worlds, it will be chaos. No one will know what to do. And that is an issue. Right now, they need to save those other worlds, because otherwise they may not have the power to save the multiverse. The Monitor is the main issue. He's done quite a bit, and he's tracked quite a lot of things down. Now, Deku to stand there with the Earth's heroes. The Monitor's ship, capable of exploring the multiverse. But it's so weird. And right now, Deku, he does get to turn his head. Everybody, they're trying to make plans, gather into teams. And Deku, right now, he's still trying to observe the crisis at hand. Observe everything. And there is where he does get to walk up to the Earth 3 Lex Luthor and try to ask him if there's any way he can be involved. That is hard to say. Right now, we've been doing good without you. But at the current hand, at the current rate, there will be problems. The machines and everything we do need, powering them, it will be a difficult task. But getting this all enabled, all together, I do believe that, given the right circumstances, we can come out on top. And Deku right now just gonna stare at Alexander. Before the entire ship, it starts to rip apart as there's something large and massive that strikes it. On their ship, it shakes. And everybody, they're somewhat thrown out of whack. They had plans being made, but everything has just been pulled out from underneath them. And Deku and Alexander, the two, they are shocked by what happens. And there actually is Havinger. Havinger killed the Monitor. And right now, this ship is being torn apart. They need to get out of here. They need to just leave. If they don't abandon ship right now, they're going to die. There is a problem. There's nothing outside. They need to retreat back to the proper universes. And Alexander, he tries to refuse. He needs to save those worlds. Without them, the multiverse will completely be destroyed. He's willing to give his own life for it. And Deku himself, he does try and think. He doesn't understand. Him looking around. And right now Deku does feel a little bit more panic. He needs to figure this out. Now, Havinger is going to stare at Alexander. And Deku, he's trying to turn looking at the superheroes. All of them are running. And Deku is even more shocked by what he does see. He sees people he recognized, people from long past. And he stares at many of them. A Gar, a Beast Boy. Him turning his head and seeing someone run by. A Wally. It being what's in Deku's mind. And there is Havinger. Deku's distracted. And Alexander Luthor. His powers. He may not be destroyed by the wave, but even he doesn't have the power to save those worlds. Her turning and blasting Doki at him. And Deku, he does, so I'm going to look back towards her, seeing what's going on. Her turning and telling Deku about what to do. It may not be safe here, but she did this. She will finish it. And right now she's going to turn and fly into the ship. She tries to fly deeper and deeper. She needs to find this thing. Something in her is telling her what to do. It must be him, the Monitor. He raised her whole life. He made a sacrifice to save the multiverse, a place she lives. She will follow in his footsteps. He was like a father. If she will die and join him, she is at peace. She'll make her peace. And right now, Havinger, she tries to get things in order. She finds the place she needs to be. And whenever she does start to pour her powers into it, her powers feel strengthened. And there is where she does temporarily become the Monitor. As I'll just say. Her power is strengthened to the point where she can absorb and manipulate positive matter. She begins to feel it. And she starts to try and bring these universes in. She tries to pull them in, slowing them down to the vibrations of the Prime Universe, or Earth 1 as we call it here. Since Earth Prime, it was obliterated in the crisis. Now, Deku, he is kind of shocked by what's going on. And there is where everybody, they do somewhat get a phase out of the ship. And Deku right now does find himself somewhere else. And there actually is where he just going to turn and see a girl. Now, Deku is going to step forwards. Him going to bend down and ask her if she's alright. And if that was her. What happened? Her looking at her hands. And Alexander, he does somewhat going to lay there on the ground, trying to express about what was going on. And Deku and a few heroes, they do stand there. Before Alexander, he does get back up. And he does try to tell them about what happened. The Monitor told him what to do. He laid out the plan for him. All they have to do is follow it. Follow his guide. Because what's going to happen next, it might change everything for all of them. Because Earth Prime, they need to understand. Earth Prime may have been one of the first universes to be created. But there are other universes out there. Some which created other universes. And that does say quite a bit. Now, Deku's confused by that logic. And right now, Superboy, Prime, he's still concerned. He's mad about a lot. I mean, his counterpart on Earth 1 gave up the mantle of Superboy. He tried to approach him and talk to him, and he was just married. He got married and gave up the hero lifestyle. He just doesn't understand. That's not what he would do. He gave up on Superman for a Martian? That being what Superboy he finds confusing. It angers him. I mean, he doesn't have the weaknesses of the other Superman. Him looking around. And he does kind of somewhat lock his eyes on Deku. Something's wrong. Deku, the way he... What happened now? Superboy, he does go see something strange. And he doesn't point it out. He thinks it might just be a trick from his eyes. But since he gained his powers, there's been no tricks. So, whatever that is, this Beamer Superboy, he does just want to go to focus back on everything. And Alexander, he does continue, expressing about Oa and the Guardians, and how this whole goddamn disaster began over 10 billion years ago, when Kronos tried to witness the birth of the universe, the beginning of all of creation. He went back to witness it. And that is where the problems started. There was the positive universe, which they lived in. But whenever he went back to witness everything, he made a copy. Or, as the Flash would refer to it, a separate timeline. Now, this mirror copy, it was the opposite of what our world was, what their world was. It was made of the exact opposite of their home. What they did was create the negative multiverse. And from then on, whenever the cosmic bulb exploded on his machine, the device that created a separate universe, it not only did so, it created creation, but it also created the destruction, because the Monitor was born, and so is the Anti-Monitor, in the other universes. Whenever the two became aware of each other, they fought, they lashed out, and Pariah, he wanted to do the exact same thing Kronos he wanted. He wanted to go back and see the beginning, but his action got the Guardians and his planet destroyed. Well, not Guardians. Pariah. Oh god, I'm confusing myself with this timeline. Anyways, now. Basically, Pariah went back in time the same way Kronos did. And he woke up the Monitor and Anti-Monitor. After the two, they became aware of each other and attacked each other, knocking each other out. Anyways, I probably shouldn't have done the Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline, because Injustice was already confusing enough. Now then, Deku, he hears about all of this, and he hears about what they need to do. They will go back to creation. They will go back and fight the Monitor. They need to. And Deku, he does something to stand there. After Lila, if I do have her name correct again, because I've been confused on a lot lately. Anyways, Lila, she is pulled to her feet. And Deku, after making sure she was okay, he does something to turn, and feels somebody grab his hand. Him confused as he does get to turn and see his Kara. Now, Deku does get someone stare back at her, and she does try to tell him that this is crazy. You're telling me? I don't know. I just didn't. I don't. Kara, everything out there. Deku looking out. He looks out into the pocket dimension. He sees the world down below. He sees much going on. And Alexander, he does try to ask all of them if they're ready for the task at hand. And this is a problem. Right now, there is Earth 2 Superman. He's worried about Lois Lane. He's worried about what happened with Earth 2. If that place was destroyed, Lois is dead. And he always saves Lois. He's always able to sweep in at the last moment and save her life. And right now, he feels like he failed her. This feeling he's getting, this thing in his chest, this panic. He's dealt with panic before. When Paul Kent died of his heart attack, he felt panic. He couldn't save the man. But now, he feels it again. And Earth 2 Superman, yeah. He is told by Alexander, she's safe, but things have been difficult. He put her somewhere else so that she would not be affected by what happened with the other Earths. Right now, Earth 1 through 5, as he will categorize them, they've been smashed together. Havinger, what she did has saved those worlds. But with them resonating so closely, they can't stay like that forever. When they all do slow down to the same wavelength, they may be destroyed. And that may not even be from the matter colliding. It could just be because of all the chaos the planet is under. And this is where everybody, they do try to get ready. Right now, they need to go back home. They need to figure this all out. They need to save their world where they can. And Alexander, he needs the time. He needs to pinpoint everything. He needs to find everything. He needs to figure all of this out. And right now, Deku, yeah. There is where he does going to head back to the world that's a combination of all five. And things are definitely crazy. Because he's not too sure if he's in Kansas anymore. I mean, last time he checked, Kansas wasn't next to some sort of scorpion farm. That'd be what Deku does think. As there is where he does going to see a giant scorpion currently run across the ground. Before he does try to think, what do they even farm here? Eggs? Now, Deku is going to turn back and fly away. It was something interesting he saw, but he's more interested in finding out whether or not his family's okay. Okay, this is going to be bad. Deku walking inside. And there is where Kara, she is sitting there. Her trying to watch the news to figure out what's going on. This world doesn't have one cohesive timeline. I mean, there's 3 different... No, those are all the same guy, but they're just... Oh my god, this is so confusing. Now, Kara, she's trying to figure this all out. Somehow there are doubles of everybody. People running around. The heroes, certain family members who have died. People are seeing doubles. And it doesn't make sense. And Deku? He does go to try and head out to find Voss. He checks on the Kryptonians at the bunker. Because today is the day that they make their debut. They need to help save the Earth. And if all of them plan to make a home here, they need to pitch in. And there actually is where Deku, he does allow the Kryptonians to head out. And he does watch it. Over 100 Kryptonians flying through the air, wearing the symbols of their home. He watches the Supermen and Superwomen fly above the sky. And many of them, they are itching to use their powers. And Deku, he does hear one heartbeat left in the bunker. One he does recognize. And there actually is where he's going to walk back inside. Him going to look through the cave and try and find her. And Voss, she currently does somewhat sit, hiding on the ground. Her in a spot that Deku, normally he wouldn't be able to see. However, Deku, he does somewhat go to reappear as Voss heard the gust of wind. And right now he does sit there, asking her if she's okay. No, Dad, I have this pressure in my chest, and I'm panicking, and I killed the elite. Deku, freezing hearing that. Right. She was exposed too. Kara, Kara. Voss, I'm sorry. What? Voss, killing is. I kill. I know. But you know why? Yes, but I don't like it. I know. Voss, I was a trained assassin. What? When I landed on Earth, Amanda Waller. You know I don't talk about her much, right? Sometimes she'll send notes, try to talk. I think you've seen her once. She made an appearance when the Elite did. However, yeah, it's hard to explain. She's basically my Earth mother, and she raised me by teaching me everything I know: the martial arts, the skills, the espionage, the way I can disguise my face and turn invisible by vibrating. That's a whole other story, though. Listen, Voss. I was killing since I was 5. Now, Voss just stared at her dad, a bit more horrified, and Deku does try to inform her. It was like that for days. Waller, she kept him on a tight leash. He never thought about running. That's the hard part. She trained him well. She taught him loyalty at a young age. And he had the ideas of freedom. He had all these ideas whenever he was young. The first time he took a life, he felt bad about it. But eventually he became dull to it. It just became a swipe of the hand, something that he didn't care about. And he was like that up until he was 14. But then he met Superman, her looking at her dad, and Deku doesn't want but a smile, telling his daughter, it's more than that. He met humanity. Instead of trying to protect it from the shadow, he stepped into the light and started doing it in the day. What he did was put down the weapons that kill and try and extend a hand for a solution. Voss looking towards her dad, and right now she's going to see his armored hand. As she's going to actually bring her hand out and ask her dad, going to stand up. Exactly what's with the helmet on his waist? Deku going to actually bring his hand down and grab it, telling her, that's complicated. A lot of things are complicated. So, red kryptonite's random, right? It is. Yes, Voss. If you're gonna tell me something that's really, really bad that you did other than murder, please just tell me now. Now, Voss does try to think about all of her antics. Skiing on Mount Everest, and smashing into a few corpses. Her trying to roll down a hill like it was like she was a ball. She just remembers doing all these goofy things. I mean, she literally acted like she threw herself off a plane without a parachute, and everybody freaked the hell out. That one guy, oh god, did he have a parachute when he jumped? That all being on Voss's mind. And Deku, he does get a flicker in the forehead, her looking up towards him. And Deku does try to tell her, okay, again, her at least trying to clarify. All she really did was run around and try to have fun, try to make her own fun. I mean, that was it. What happened to him? Now, Deku does get a full silence. And Voss, that doesn't give her anything good to go on, because she thought her shit was bad. Did her dad do war crime level stuff? Okay, red kryptonite. Avoid. Now, Voss is concerned. And Deku, yeah, he doesn't know how to explain this to her, especially right now. And Voss, she does get told what to do. As the super family, they do get to head out. And the Earth? Yeah. It is in desperate need of help. As dinosaurs are taken down, futuristic warriors, or at least, well, futuristic people, them and their creations which try to figure out what's going on, their tech going haywire, and even the world just having natural disasters right now, it's all trying to be solved by Kryptonians and the Justice League. And a lot starts to happen. You have the Flash, who goes missing, and something else comes out of the Speed Force. As somebody, they do arrive back on Earth. They just remember running. They remember going faster. They remember doing what they could to try to solve this crisis at hand. And right now, Wally West, he does come running out of the Speed Force. Him smashing onto the ground as he goes rolling at super speed. Him smashing into a wall as right now he just going to hit it and lay there. Him going to clutch at his broken arm. However, there is where he does try to look around. Look up. The energy. He just remembered the energy. It was... He outran it, didn't he? Now, Wally, he's concerned. And there is where somebody, they're going to bend down and try to tell him, everything will be alright. Everything will be okay. And that was kind of confusing. And Wally West, he looked at somebody he thought was dead. He stares at somebody who, in his world, they should have been laid to rest. Now, Wally, he does gonna throw this person a hug, and he's happy to see them again. As he does start to somewhat cry, trying to figure out what happened, where he is, and why exactly that shit is going on in the distance, as we'll just refer to it as. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.